I got a good one for you today. If you're into electric skateboards or e-skate, this is a monster of a board and a pleasure to ride. It's from Meepo and it's called the VADER Limited Edition. Welcome back, I'm Tony, and I love e-skate. It's like my zen space, you know? I get on these things and I just have to focus on what I'm doing. I might have some music going or something like that, my open ear headphones, but it's just about focus, and I just zone out and just love riding these things. So I love when I find one that just elevates that experience, and the Meepo VADER Limited Edition absolutely does that. This video might get a little bit long because the testing and filming for this actually was pretty long, so let's get right into the details of this board. We'll do a lightning unboxing and show you a little bit about the assembly, do a little ride and talk, and come back and give you my final impressions. So details. So the Meepo VADER Hurricane Carbon Limited Edition, that's the full name of it. This board has a list price of $2,279, and it's marked down $690 to $1,589. Now that might sound like a lot, but it really isn't. When you start pricing these things out, that is like the average cost of a carbon 2-in-1 or all-terrain type board, and you get so much more with this thing, man. It is, oh man. So from the website, at a glance, it gets 31 miles range, and you're gonna get every bit of that unless you're 300-400 pounds, which brings me to this. The max load on it is 552 pounds. Now, when they say that, that's what the board can handle of, you know, that kind of weight on top of the board. Anything over 300 pounds, though, you're obviously going to be decreasing its ability to give you the range and all that kind of stuff. Now, they're saying 32 mile per hour top speed, and I got this thing up to 34 miles per hour, so hey. It has gear drive system 4.0, and it has two 305,000 watt motors. The battery pack on it is 725.8 watt hours, 12S4P Molicel P42A batteries, 365 days warranty, so 1 year, a T700 3K twill carbon fiber deck, and they're saying IP67 waterproof. Even though they say that, that's a pretty high rating. You know, that's like splashes and stuff like that. I don't recommend riding these things, not only just because it could damage your board, but for safety in the rain, you know, I just avoid that. These things are expensive, and you don't want to jack up your board and be like, oh, well, you know, maybe it wasn't that waterproof. Some of the things that I really like, the charger is vastly improved. It's again 400 watt charger with metal enclosure. It's got a display, and it even has this little USB dongle on the side of it to charge your remote while you're charging the board. It has the Cyclone Racing Wheels 165S. These are the tubeless wheels. With raw CNC, it matches the deck perfectly because the deck is also silver, which that was one of the things. I don't know, all the boards are always black, you know, that kind of thing, but this silver deck just sets it off. And everywhere I've ridden this, people are like, dude, what is that? It's very noticeable and a conversation starter for sure. They're using a new remote, and I'm not sure if that's on all their boards. It's been a little while since I've reviewed one of their boards, but the remote has a bigger display and buttons, and it has gear change protection. Normally you just hit the gear change thing once and it goes to the next gear, but I've had that happen while, you know, you're handling maybe your GoPro or your Insta360 camera or something, and it just hits the button, you didn't realize it, and you go to throttle like, whoa! Yeah, so that is you gotta double tap that button in order to switch it to the next gear, or speed mode, as it were. You know, all these skateboards come with a skate tool, the T tool. Well, they have a new one, and it is really it's just a small thing that I really like. It reminds me a lot of the independent one, independent skate that I use. You'll see it in just a second when I show you the unboxing. It comes with double kingpin trucks installed, or at least the base plate. And then inside the package, this is a cool little addition. If you want to go TKP, well, they also have those base plates in there, so you can just switch it up and change your board's performance. And the gear drives on this thing, I've definitely tested a bunch of gear drive boards. These gear drives they're really, really nice. Haven't had any issues with them. They have that sound to them, that whoop, but they're not super loud like a belt drive is. So if you're looking for something a little bit quieter, this is nice. And don't forget, they also have free shipping on these. This board is about 40 pounds. It's 38.8 pounds, I think it is. It's a heavy board, so shipping on that would be pretty expensive. So that's a nice deal right there too. Now, of course, I'll put their link down in the description to their website if you want to check it out for yourself. There's more specs and some examples and more descriptions on there for you. Well, let's get right to it. We're going to do a lightning unboxing. You'll see everything that comes inside the package, show you a little bit about installing the wheels on the gear drives. Then we're going to take it for a ride. So this is the T-tool that came with it, and this is my favorite T-tool from Independent, and they're very similar. This one though is a little bit longer, which is good because these wheels are pretty deep, right? This being skinny like that actually really helps to get in where you need to get into the tight spots for your trucks and stuff, so that is a nice addition, plus it's got knurling on there. Okay, I've already got one wheel on here on the back. I just wanted to show you what this all looks like here. So you can see that that spins this piece right here, and that's the adapter that's inside there that you saw when I was showing you the unboxing stuff. There's another adapter for it. Now you see these little divots that are in here? Those little divots line up with these right here. So on the other one, I put it on there, I was like, wait a minute, it was just barely touching it. And I was saying, well, how does that actually connect? It should be, you know, as deep as these are. Well, once you put the wheel on, it actually does cinch up in there and makes it quite nice. All right, so there we go, that's on there. All right, you see how those little divots are and how they'll line up with this. Let's move this camera a little bit. All right, see, so they're lined up, and yeah, it turns with it, but it's like, okay, well, it's not on there far enough, is it? And when you look at that, there is definitely not enough room on there for a speed washer and for the nut. But once we get the nut on there, and we use their tool, you watch that that's going to cinch right up. There we go. Voila. Also has a nice 3-pin connector like that. And on the charger itself, it's got a display, so you can see everything that's going on. All right, I don't know how well this is going to do because it's very windy out here. As soon as I get moving, you might not be able to hear me, but I got to tell you, I love this board, man. This is really, really, really nice. I'm in speed 3 right now. Hello. And I kind of had to get used to it first because speed 1 and 2, as would be expected, but boy, you put it into 3 and it kicks in, man. I had to kind of practice on the accelerator on this, on the throttle, because it's got so much power that it was like, whoa, all right, yeah. So, but now nice and smooth, and man. Whew. Gets up to 20 miles per hour in just no time flat. So you kind of got to pay attention to how fast you're going, especially if you're on. This is a, it's called Bay Drive, as you can see. Kind of goes along the bay here. And it's a very popular place for people to walk and ride bikes and all that, so you do have to be careful. This is one thing I want to check out though. The motors on this thing, or the gear drive, is just so dang smooth and so quiet. Check it out. Yeah, she nice. A lot of fun, a lot of fun. Nice wheels on here too. Check it out. We're gonna go over some wood on a little. All right. Yeah, I mean, needless to say, these wheels handle just about anything you're gonna throw at them. So that's not a problem at all. Speed limit on here is 25 miles per hour. And I'm going 26 now. 27, 28, 30 miles per hour. And that's in 3rd gear. Absolute stability, and it's fantastic. I gotta say, I really don't want to send this board back. Absolutely no problem carving at 27 miles per hour. I love that. And you know, being carbon fiber, this is not going to have any flex to it or anything like that. And that's okay with me. All right, I got to tell you, it is nice. Oh, and just as a point, right now, it is about 80 degrees out here, and there's a breeze, so that helps. I'm wearing this mesh. It's a summer mesh reflective shirt from Beyond Riders, and it's very comfortable. It feels very good. Now, I've only done this a couple of times, but we're going to go ahead and put this in 4th gear, 4th speed, whatever you want to call it. And let's see what the kick is on this. Oh, man. Woo. Hey. Whoa. You got to be a little bit careful with that throttle, especially on that one. That's got some oomph to it, that's for sure. Man, that's nice. Now, in its current configuration, it's not really set up for off-road with these wheels, but just to show you, it can definitely handle. If you end up having to go through a little bit of off-road stuff, not a problem. "31 miles per hour right there." And you know, that's the thing about this board is that I get up to 30 miles an hour without even thinking about it. And I'll tell you this, aside from my DIY board, which was meticulously put together exactly how I wanted it to be and everything, this board is the most stable aside from that. I don't know, maybe not, but it's super stable. I mean, 30 miles an hour and I'm not even thinking about it. Now, of course, as usual, the brakes on this are adjustable as well. I've got it on level 4. Usually on level 4, they're so strong that it's like, whoa, you know, but nice and smooth. The brakes are great on this. I don't know if that's partly a function of the gear drive or not, but I just got to say, it's a pleasure to ride this thing. Hello. Full stability, and I feel really secure. So I have yet to ride this to fully deplete the battery. Yeah, I got it down to half and charged it back up because I knew I was going to go on a long ride. But just to give you an idea, I've gone 12 miles so far and I've lost 1 bar on the remote. And that's with a 195-pound rider. There's a lot of wind today, and I've been going up and down a lot of hills. So I think that's pretty good. You know, you can extrapolate that to get at least 40 miles if that's the case, even with 4 bars. And even though it looks like there's 5 bars, that middle bar is really, I don't think that's actually a bar. That's just where the B is. I think that's just an indicator that that's the board. So, because it kind of skips over that. But there we go. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. So there we go. I think by now I've pretty much said everything I need to say about this board. It's fantastic. It's a loaner. They sent this to me to use for a month or two while I tested it and made this review. And I really don't want to send this thing back. It's really nice. It's like, dang. Now, I do have some fantastic boards, so it's not killing me too much. But boy, this is a nice board. I wonder how much they'd sell it to me after I've ridden it now. Either way, I want to thank Meepo Board for sending this for me to evaluate. And Kieran, the owner of Meepo, which I met out at Eastgate Con, turns out super nice guy. And he knows a lot about what he's doing. He's not just somebody making these things. He rides them. So that's great. Good guy. You know, between the way this thing looks, which is just stunning, all the extras like the extra adapters, the TKP base plates, it's just, man, what a deal at $1,589. Now, if you're new to this, that might sound like a lot of money, but start doing your research on good electric skateboards and you're gonna find that that's a good price. Now, what I'm really looking at is they've got their, is it called the Monsoon Legacy? I think, and that's not the full name to it, but it's the one that they're doing in conjunction with Stooge race boards. They've designed a race board with the 3-link trucks, and man, oh man, now that sounds like it'll be pretty awesome, especially for Eastgate Con next year and racing, because I'm gonna be doing that again. I think that it comes out around July 17th, so keep your eyes out for that. So that is the Meepo VADER limited edition. 2 thumbs up on this one. I really can't find anything to complain about with this. Super super stable. Man, riding this thing, getting up to 30, 32 miles per hour and just whee, without, all of a sudden you're like, oh geez, you look at the remote, I'm going really fast right now, carving and everything. So I couldn't be happier with what my experience was with it. Well, I want to thank you so much for your support here on the channel. It's been around since 2013. Those of you who have been around that long, great. If you're new to the channel, thank you so much for checking it out. And I just want to remind you, if you like what you see, hit that thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, there's a red subscribe button down there and notification bell. If you click both of those, you'll get notifications when I upload new videos. You also might notice that there's a thanks button right down below this video. If you're so inclined, want to toss a couple bucks my way, it is not inexpensive to run these channels, I'll tell you that. Every little bit helps and keeps the channel going, but either way, just thank you so much for being here. It's very humbling to me. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. We'll catch you next time on the Vapor Trail channel.